Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. I hope you're having a good day. In this video, I'm going to answer some questions, some how questions as they relate to descriptive tables. Specifically, how are they read, how are they interpreted, and how are they discussed. So let's start with how are they read. Well, as with almost all other tables, we typically read descriptive tables from left to right, regardless of whether it's a univariate, a bivariate, or a multivariate descriptive table. And we follow the simple rule of center, spread, and shape. All descriptive statistics is centered around the central limit theorem. And so we need to understand that when I build this table, I want to start with my measures of center, followed by my measures of spread, and then ending with any measures of shape that I feel are necessary. And that's what we've done here. We would interpret this by first talking about the mean, the median, and the mode, because we've presented that. And so we would first read this saying, here are the measures of center. And then we would read to the right and go, here is the spread, and then here is the shape. The shape. And as I have mentioned in earlier videos, sometimes we take out the shape and we just give the reader information about the center and the spread. And that's what we've done in this table. Now, also in this table, we've set it up two different ways. And that's important in terms of interpretation. I tell students you can do it either way. There's not a right or a wrong way here. And I'm going to show you here in just a minute on the internet a couple of examples. You can go either variables this way, and your measures going across, or your measures going down and your variables going across. Either way is acceptable, but it does influence how we interpret once we've read the table. If I am interpreting this data, I'm going to be interpreting it in terms of the means, the medians, and the standard deviations, because we typically read from left to right, top to bottom. But if I look at this table, I'm going to interpret it a little bit differently. I'm going to be interpreting age in terms of the mean, median, and standard deviation, then BMI. And so I can't be conducting a multivariate analysis as easily. It's not going to be as easy to interpret it that way. That leads into discussion. How do I discuss it? Well, it depends on, am I doing univariate descriptive analysis, bivariate, or multivariate? If I'm doing univariate descriptive analysis, if I only have one variable, then all I do is I describe it in a very straightforward and linear fashion. I discuss it in terms of the center, spread, and shape. But if I'm bivariate or multivariate, I have an issue. Do I want to go univariate? Here's the age. Here's BMI. Here's milk lipid. In other words, each one separately. Or do I want to think in terms of bivariate and multivariate? Here are the means for the three variables in this study. The mean age was this. The mean BMI was this. The mean milk lipid content was that. This is how we can choose to discuss it. Neither way is right, and neither way is wrong. It is a decision you have to make as a researcher. The problem that I see, and we're going to see it here on the internet, is sometimes students start getting confused. And they start building tables that have so much information that the whole idea of reading it, interpreting it, and discussing it becomes a little difficult. If we look at this table, it's Table 2, Descriptive Statistics for Air Pollutants, Visibility, and Meteorology, Mexico City, from January 1st, 1994 to December 30th, 1998. And I don't know what these variables refer to. We come down here and they give us definitions. But what I want you to see is these first few variables, it just says here's the units that were measured in, here's N, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum. But then what they did was something a little different. They put in temperature, the mean. So the mean temperature, the mean for the mean is 16.5. Does that make sense? I know what they're trying to say, and what they're really trying to say comes in under the minimum. The minimum value for all of these dates, for 1,825 observations, the average minimum value was 10.84 with a standard deviation of 2.9. But it doesn't make sense in terms of reading it, interpreting it, and discussing it. They would have been better off building two separate tables, with the first table having this information and the second table having this information. But by putting it all on the same table, they've created an interpretation and discussion problem. I hope this video has answered some of your questions. Hope it's raised some questions. If it has, I'd love to hear them. Otherwise, have a good day.